Welcome back to Action Figure Obsession. I did a video the other day called When It's Love, which was all about my unbounded affection for my fragile, over a decade old, I believe, wolf cap, the werewolf Captain America from the Red Onslaught wave. Um, Here's another one that I have kind of a complicated history with. This is the retro Black Widow from the Marvel Superheroes Vintage Collection Wave 1 2017, which was, for the time, other than a seriously even then outdated Iron Man repaint. The other figures in that wave were pretty spectacular. You had a redo of the Walgreens exclusive Punisher as a retro Punisher. You had the Wolf Cap repaint as a classic Captain America with a lighter blue and some beautifully tampographied scale mail on his upper arms and chest. You had did I say Pizza Spider-Man? The classic Pizza Spider-Man with the lighter blue. Yeah, Cap and Spider-Man both in that 2017 vintage collection Wave 1. They both had lighter blue, more classic, more toy. That whole wave of six figures was more toyetic. It was the one and only re-release of the brown suit Wolverine from the Juggernaut wave. I think it was a darker brown and darker, orange, whatever that other color on the brown suit Wolverine is. Sometimes, sometimes it's difficult to say. But so it was Wolverine, it was Black Widow, it was Spider Man, Captain America, Iron Man, and the Punisher. Great wave of six figures in 2017. I think at most they were 19.99. They may have even been 17.99 for that six-figure wave for each figure. What's missing from this Black Widow, and this is pretty much what you got in the 2017 Black Widow, except her guns were black and warped, and these, I forget who, maybe Paladin came with these. These are the smaller version of the Nick Fury needle gun. If you're familiar with the Nick Fury needle gun, it is actually a Jim Steranko invention from when he was drawing Nick Fury in the late 60s. I think, for a few issues. And the needle gun, a lot of people don't like this gun. I'm not in love with it, especially when it's not black. But as I say, this figure came with the black ones, and they were very, very flimsy. I think they may have been smaller and thinner. I think this is a slightly larger. I think certainly is more sturdy. The ones that came with Paladin. And I have two sets of these. I actually took them out of this green Valaverse Action Force weapons crate. It's actual metal tin that a couple of years ago you could send them, I think, was it $79.99 and get like 100 weapons and also effects pieces and knives and all kinds of stuff. It was a great, what a bargain. I still have pieces from that I've never used that I'm still waiting for the right character for. But now I use it more for just generic weapon storage. The best of my action figure weapons I keep in that box, which has 4 different segments in it, and I put them in baggies. So, I have a baggie for my AKs and a baggie for my MP5s and that kind of thing. And that's where the good stuff is. I have another couple of plastic bins that have additional, like G.I. Joe Classified Series weapons and things like that. But this Black Widow from the 2017 Marvel Superheroes Retro Wave, she reused the Mary Jane head from the Toys R Us exclusive all new, all different Spider-Man 2-pack that came with Mary Jane. Her hair is a little different here. I don't think it's got, if I recall correctly, it's got a little bit of shading, but Mary Jane's hair, I think, had more significant amount of shading. And as I'm trying to hold her up here, she's a little loose. I've had this one a long time. Come on, work with me here, Natasha. I never minded that they reused the Mary Jane head because I think that It was inspired by the work of John Romita, who also did some lovely work on the Black Widow, drawing the Black Widow. So I can see this as a Black Widow, as a Natasha Romanoff of a certain era. That's fine with me. I do enjoy the. Oh, where is she? She's around here somewhere. There she is. I do enjoy the three heads that came with the more recent and much better articulated Target exclusive Black Widow. I don't know if you can tell just by looking how much more articulated and lifelike the one on the right is than the one on the left. Um, but at the time the one on the left came out, the retro in 2017, that was about as good as a Marvel Legends female body got. I mean, at least it looks like a female human being, and you know, it was the best that we had at the time. I think the new and improved Black Widow body that came out was it 2020. Oh, it was part of the 60th anniversary, so it would have been 2023, I think. The Target exclusive Black Widow. This is one of five that I have in my collection. Um, and I wish I'd bought more because it is just such a spectacular figure. But enough of her. I could talk about her all day. I just want to say I do, even after all these years, and even after how much she doesn't want to stand up straight. You can see there's a little bit of warping in her knees there. Those are the old pinned knees that tend to warp after a while. Um, this Black Widow is missing a belt because I had another kit bashed Black Widow and I needed a belt, and at the time I wasn't that in love with this figure. I since kind of regret doing the swap, and I could, technically speaking, swap it back and give her belt back. At some point, I may try to find a belt for her, but there's something to be said about the simplicity of just a black cat suit, right? I mean, that's she doesn't look bad, does she? Uh, and as I say, the guns are, similar to the needle gun that Nick Fury has in the Nick Fury, the Shield 3 pack, and also the one with the Nick Fury and the Punisher. He comes with, I think, is it black in that Punisher Nick Fury 2 pack? I think, yeah, because I think the Punisher's weapons are a dark gray, and then the Nick Fury weapons are black. I could have that backwards, but I'm pretty sure it's that way. But I just wanted to say, if you spot this, the most recent times that I've seen this retro carded Black Widow, comes on a white card with blue and red accents. It wasn't going for a whole lot of money, and it's not a fantastic figure like this one here, but it's not a bad figure if you can find it for 15 or $20. Mint on card, and her legs aren't all warped to hell. I saw one time at a Barnes and Noble where one of her legs was like a question mark. Her leg had become so warped in the package that there was not even a question that I was just leaving it there because it was a mess. But generally speaking, when I see those 2017 retro carded Marvel superhero figures, there's not a one of them that I wouldn't love to have a one or two more in my collection. It was a beautiful wave for the time. They were just, I think, I mean, they were all repaints and they were all, a cash in. They were just using existing molds. It probably cost Hasbro pennies on the dollar compared to what it cost to make the pretty much brand new almost from scratch Target Black Widow. But for a while there, for 6 months or a year, if you wanted a Spider-Man or a Captain America or an Iron Man or a Punisher or a Black Widow or who was the other one? Iron Man, maybe? There was a good long run of months where that 2017 vintage Wave 1, so most of those figures were hanging around for a little while, and it was sort of like the evergreen program that they call it now. I've also heard it referred to as A1, where some of the movie figures are in the special boxes, and people think they're shelf warmers at Target and Walmart. But in reality, when they sell out, they restock them because apparently Hasbro, at least for now, intends to keep them perpetually in stock. The movie Captain America. There's a movie Spider-Man. What other ones have they done? The Bruce Banner, the Mark Ruffalo Bruce Banner. That's another one that is in that line. And those aren't the greatest either. But again, there are certain figures, certain characters that should always be available at retail in a classic and good, if not great, form. And at the time, 2017, this Black Widow certainly more than fit the bill with a beautiful head sculpt. And, she had her belt and she has her Widow's Sting bracelets. And she came with a couple of weapons. And she was pretty stripped down and pretty bare bones, but she wasn't a bad figure for the time. And the reason I still have her, even if I did take her belt away from her, I still, despite the lack of waist articulation, despite the lack of a bicep swivel, despite the fact that you can't turn her head very much because her hair, bumps into her shoulders, but it's still not a bad figure. And the fact of the matter is, most people in the collecting community are consumed with what's new and what's next, and they're worried about their pre-orders, and they're worried about the Hasbro live streams and what are they going to announce next. You go to any good vintage toy store, if you have one near you, and you prowl around in the Marvel section. Hopefully they have some Marvel Legends. You're going to find some gems like this figure. They do exist, and hopefully they haven't inflated the prices based on some cursory examination of eBay where they're only looking at what other people are trying to charge for it, not actually looking for what they sold for by going to the completed auctions and seeing what the real amounts are that they sell for. I'd find it very, very hard to believe this figure sells for more than $15 or $20, maybe $25 shipped, which is about what it was at original retail. And again, it's not anywhere near the quality or the playability or the fun factor of the Target exclusive Black Widow. But I just want to say I still like this one an awful lot. I don't know if I love it as much as Wolf Cap, but I really dig that beautiful head sculpt and the paint job on it. Look at the paint job on that face. It's absolutely immaculate. I mean, this one is too, but this one goes for what, $60, $80 now? And this one can probably still be had for less than the price of lunch at McDonald's for one person. So, anyway, just had dug this Black Widow back out of the back of my Shield shelf, and I'm thinking about doing something with her to give her more of a place of honor in my displays, because I think that she's earned it and she deserves it. I do love the Black Widow as a character. I wish they hadn't done her so dirty in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, because I think that she could have lasted a little longer. Referring to the Natasha Romanoff version, of course. I also like her replacement, and the actress's name is Florence Pugh. Thank you, playing Yelena Belova. Brain not braining, trying to get more caffeine into my system. I wrote a song about that. I haven't listened back to it yet to see how it came out, but you'll probably find out soon if you're the type that actually also goes and listens to my music uploads. That should be posted sometime today. But that's it for this little rambling thought about the 2017 retro vintage Black Widow from the Vintage Collection Series 1. I wish that they, there was a Series 2, and they've done some individual characters on those cards since then. But I wish that they would keep that series going. I think every 3 or 6 months, if they pumped out some A and B list Marvel superheroes on the vintage card, I think that would be most welcome, and I think they'd sell like hotcakes, like wildfire, whatever it is that sells well. I think that if they continued that program with a little more vigorousness, a little more energy, a little more excitement, I think that it probably would get people excited. That's it for this action figure obsession video. Appreciate you stopping by. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video with anyone you think might be interested. And I will see you on the next one.